Hey everyone, it's Greg. Welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Gregg the Artivist as I design and build the three-faced head of my huge cardboard sculpture. So let's just jump straight into it. Hey, good morning. So, Christmas and New Year are out the way. I then got COVID, so that sort of took me out for a little bit. So I'm a bit later getting started with this project as I'd hoped, but I'm excited to get started today with the head for the spear or the knife or the blade or whatever it is that's kind of pinning the other identity down into the column. And this head is a lot more complicated because it has three faces, much more complicated than the cog that I designed. So I'm not really 100% sure how I'm going to get started. And these three faces, of course, represent my concerns about the meat industry, the fishing industry, and fossil fuels. So I decided this morning the best thing probably would be to do to get started is just create a profile of one of the faces, just draw it out. And if I'm happy with that, I'm then going to sort of try and create a paper model in line with that drawing. And if I'm happy with all of that, the bigger picture is then to take that back into the 3D software to use as a template to then create the whole three faces and the whole head of this part of the sculpture, so that I can then bring that back out again and create that in the real world using the cardboard. So yeah, wish me luck with that. I don't know how I'm going to get on, so we'll just see where I get to today. So I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out. I think that quite represents, what I was seeing in the dream, and I really thought about it a lot about sort of the folds in the material, and how that is all going to join together to the two other faces, which I've kind of split up halfway down the cheek and halfway through the eye socket, so that the other two faces can go on there. So I think, this is good for me to get started. I'm going to draw it up on some pieces of paper, and then cut it all out and then turn it back into a 3D mask, and hopefully that it still looks the way that I'm intending it to do. So I'm just going to jump straight into that. Okay, so I managed to actually finish the paper version of the mask based on my drawing this morning, and it's come up really, really well. I haven't had to change anything from the original drawing. I mean, it took me a long time to actually do it, but I have the profile or the side view that I really, really need for the 3D modeling software. Now, I'm sorry if you're a papercraft person, if it's your art or your hobby, because I completely bastardized the whole art form today. But again, And this is just to give me a rough idea of how this is going to look based on the drawing that I did, which I'm happy about. However, it did make me realize that during my therapy for my recovery from my burnout, my therapist used to always say to me, oh no, do something to make your inner child happy. And I really realized today that when I'm old and senile, you can literally just put me in a corner and leave me there with some paper and pens and a pair of scissors and some tape. And I'm sure that I'll be completely happy and keep myself amused for hours. Like I said, the day has just completely escaped me working on this. So I don't have time to 3D model tonight. I'm going to set it aside for today, and I'm going to come back to the 3D modeling tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Hey, good morning. So yesterday I managed to complete the paper mask that I wanted to make, but the one thing I forgot to do before I sort of called it a day yesterday is to create the side profile drawing of the mask on the iPad. And I really want to have that sort of front profile and that side profile image ready so that I can put that into the 3D software today and have it in the background of that 3D environment so that I have some reference points for when I'm sort of plotting out the pieces that I need for the mask. So I'm just going to jump straight into that now. So I finished drawing the side profile of the mask. Doesn't look like much, but it should be perfect for what I need. So I'm just going to jump straight into this 3D environment and see how I get on today. So I finished the first face for my head, which I'm super excited about. Using the reference images really helped tremendously, and the final product is actually much better than I could have ever imagined or expected. So I'm really, really happy about this. So now I need to get on and work out how I'm going to add the 2 extra faces to this face and then complete the head as a whole. I'm hoping that I can really get it done today. So we'll see how I get on, and I'm just going to crack on with that. Hey, so it's been a super long day. I was so caught up in the process and fascinated by how it all works. I completely lost track of time. I've been sat at this computer for almost 10 hours and I can really feel it in my eyes. But great, thankfully, I actually managed to finish my head, which I'm super happy with. It turned out much better than expected, and I was able to rescale the cog in the 3D environment according to the real dimensions of the cog that I've already built. So my head now is scaled to that cog, so I have a really good idea of what the dimensions are going to be when I actually start to build it in the real world. But like I said, it's been a super long day, and I'm going to call it a night and head off to bed, and I'm going to be back here in the morning to actually start the build. So I'll see you then. Hey, good morning. So today I'm going to start building the cardboard head. I've got a stack of cardboard boxes ready to go. I was laying in bed this morning and I kind of just sort of wanted to set some realistic expectations about this. There's about 500 pieces that need to be drawn out and cut out, and if the cog is anything to go by, then I'm kind of estimating that this is going to take a week and a half to 2 weeks to complete. I'm not particularly excited about all the hand cutting, but it will give me a great opportunity to just kind of think about the project as a whole. It can be quite therapeutic when you're just sitting there and drawing and cutting. So yeah, with that said, I'm just going to get cracking on with it, and I'll see you on the other side. So that wraps up today's episode. Please join me next time when I will be designing and building the torso for my huge cardboard sculpture. And don't forget to look out for my climate story, which now features as a standalone episode. And as always, if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed today's episode, then please do give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and click on that bell to be updated for future episodes. I cannot express enough how these simple actions go such a long way to help the YouTube algorithm recognize that I exist on their platform and put my content in front of other like-minded people. Plus, if you'd like more information about today's episode, then please consider joining me over at Patreon. There are a ton of benefits to become a member of the Gregg the Artivist community. You can see all the different levels of membership and the benefits that each of them have to offer from the link in the description box below. And finally, do also follow me across on Instagram, where you'll get to see what I'm up to in between episodes. So until next time, please take care and remember that you too can have a voice.